out, but it was leaked, and it wasn't. I guess it was on floating on YouTube for a second. It was a freestyle. I believe the freestyle was called "Fighting Irish," and of course, most people took added their own twist to what they thought or they thought he was talking about in that freestyle. Everybody felt like he was talking about LeBron James, and basically, just my whole thing of it is, even if you are Drake and you feel like you want to throw jabs at LeBron, my thing was, I sit here and say, what's the difference between LeBron supporting Kendrick Lamar, liking his music, and Drake showing endless love? Like, one of Drake's biggest bars of his career was "I'm Chef Curry with the pot boy." Like, that was his biggest bar of his entire career. So for him to sit here and be able to have a huge Steph Curry bar, how can you celebrate Steph Curry and you and Kevin Durant be super cool? These are the people who realistically slow down LeBron James' legacy. Like, yeah, LeBron is still LeBron, but let's keep it a buck. Like, LeBron's legacy didn't reach its full potential because LeBron is always compared to Jordan. So if I'm comparing LeBron to Jordan and he never got to reach those 6 rings because of Steph Curry and because of Kevin Durant, there's no way you can sit here and be like, LeBron ain't never supposed to be able to go to a Kendrick Lamar show. And I seen people saying, but LeBron, Steph Curry ain't even one of them never call each other a pedo. Bro, nobody in real life actually believed that about Drake. The song is just fire. People just like the Not Like Us song. Nobody believes that Drake is actually out here on this Diddy stuff, fondling kids. Like, nobody don't believe that. So I think realistically, and that just showed me, was like, that some of y'all are just real live, really that much of a stand on some fanboy stuff. Like, oh, I'm just going to rap. Like, you can't, I live in America. There's no rapper that you can sit here and tell me is more important than probably a top 5 athlete of all times. I ain't even just sitting here saying in his sport. I'm talking about of all times. LeBron James is arguably the best basketball player of all times. But you talking about, you can argue that he's a top 5 athlete of all time. So you think that we're just going to sit here, if you had to pick a side, I'm going to pick the side of a rapper over an athlete? Like, y'all serious? Like, LeBron James literally for 22 years now have literally sold out arenas 82 games a year. Like, I think certain things, I think people don't put in perspective. So it's just like, even if you are a super diehard Drake fan, don't show people that you that corny that you think that other people will sit here and choose Drake over LeBron. Like, are you serious? Like, Drake has a LeBron James tattoo. Like, do you think about how corny that is? And that's why I say that is nobody. Of course, he didn't make the diss seem like it's only a LeBron thing. He made it seem, he said, my brothers bought tickets, and it was multiple NBA players. He could have been talking about DeMar DeRozan. He could have been talking about Russell Westbrook. He could have been talking about James Harden. He could have been talking about everybody who came to that pop-up show. But of course, most people feel like his biggest hurt, I guess, or the biggest person who will really get people talking is if he sent those bars to LeBron James. And like I said, me personally, if I gotta pick a side, I'm going to always go LeBron over Drake. Like, that's not even up for debate. And for people who think that I seen people sit here and say, oh, well, Steph and LeBron is cool in real life, so what? But when they're on the court, when people are arguing in the barbershop, Jordan or LeBron, Steph Curry stands in the way. 4 rings. He on one. So three out of his 4, he won against LeBron James. So if LeBron James had 3 more rings, he got 7. He beats Jordan. What are you talking about? There's no LeBron James fan that's okay. Like, the biggest Steph Curry haters, 9 times out of 10, 90.9% of the time are LeBron James fans. So do you think that it's okay for Drake to be able to, his whole entire career, to be able to, like, I'm friends with LeBron and Steph? Like, I mean, of course, music-wise, that's supposed to be a flex, but if we talking sports-wise, that's not a real thing. Nobody in real life is a LeBron James and a Steph Curry fan. You cannot do that. That does not work like that. Like, that's not, like, you can't be a Peyton Manning fan and a Tom Brady fan. You either one or the other. There's no in between with that. Like, there's some athletes that, yeah, you can dibble and dabble with, but some of them, you got to just draw the line, dog. Is you either on this side or you on that side? So for people to act like LeBron James couldn't support, like, your whole entire career, as I am Drake, you have thrown endless. I don't even know a Drake LeBron bar. But I know for a fact that everybody in their mother know I'm Chef Curry with the pot boy. Like, that is one of Drake's biggest lines of his whole entire career. So you can't have that line to my biggest sports rivalry. That's just like you sit here saying, like, everybody, when people sit here, you're never going to hear. Guess what? I'm going to tell you what you're never going to hear. I can jump into the future right now. You're never going to hear a black female rapper have a Caitlin Clark bar. You know why? Because they're Angel Reese real friends. Like, that makes sense. That's not going to happen. So you can't sit here and say, oh, yeah, well, it's okay for Drake to do it. No, it's not. Get off that man. Put some knee pads on and get off your knees, dog. Like, that's to me what I was like, dang, y'all make me, Drake fans make you not like Drake. And I can sometimes when you hear other people talk about it, you kind of like maybe until you actually get a taste of it yourself, pause, no Diddy, you don't ever understand that. But that was like, I was like, oh, I was looking at my thread show and I'm like, you idiot. What do you mean? It's not like, bro, you must have never been in a barbershop and heard people argue sports. Because if you ever hear somebody defending LeBron James and somebody bring up Steph Curry, it's the same way as if somebody bring up Michael Jordan and we debating LeBron James. Like you're going to get that same animosity. You're going to get that same aggressive anger. So, but you don't never hear like, even the comparison of like we talking about rap beef, people don't get in the fight. I'm not talking about the crews, but people don't get in the fights over rap beef. Like you never seen somebody like, oh, square with me because you like Beanie Siegel and not Jadakiss. Like what? Like that never happened, dog. Like you never seen somebody get in a fist fight because, and I'm talking about people who are not affiliated with the actual rappers. You ain't seen nobody fight over Ja Rule and 50 Cent. What are you talking about? Like people get beat up at sporting events all the time. Like we have sit here and talk about it on this junk, like how it's amazing when the Knicks fans went down to Philly, like, damn, Philly just went like cake and ice cream. Like that's a thing. That doesn't happen with rappers. So you sit here making it like LeBron James committed some sin by going to the pop-out concert or knowing the words to the Drake junk, like, I mean, to the Kendrick Lamar album is crazy to me, dog. Like that to me is like, that was some of the weirdest behavior ever. And that's why when people be like Drake sexuals and all that, I kind of like agree with it now. Like, and I was one of them people who was kind of like, nah, Drake cool. Like his fans ain't that OD. Nah, they ain't that OD, though. That's
but even with the whole LeBron situation, I also you got to think about it. Like you took shots at Serena too. And I feel like LeBron and Serena, like that whole, you know what I'm saying? Like they have a friendship and a bond.
For sure.
So that's why like when people say that, I'm just like, So do you think that really that ball was directly to LeBron or just to everybody?
No, I think the internet the internet trying to just put it a LeBron thing, but I think realistically it could be an anybody thing. It was endless people at that show.
That's what I felt like. It was just it was directed to everybody.
Yeah, it was everybody who's at the show because he said my brothers. He ain't say my brother like a one. He said it like plural, like brothers. Like all my brothers bought tickets to this gimmick. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at him for saying it, but you can't be mad at me for sitting here saying. Like you can't, if one person you can't be mad at, you can't be mad at LeBron. Because I'm just saying like if I'm a LeBron fan, his biggest op is Steph Curry, dog. Like the biggest rivalry in the last 10 years has been Steph Curry versus LeBron James, Warriors versus Cavs. And then when he went to the Lakers, it was the Lakers versus like even Christmas Day. It's always a Steph and LeBron thing. When he was at Cleveland, it was a LeBron. It was the Cavs versus the Warriors. When he went to the Lakers, it was the Warriors versus the Lakers. Like that's a thing. Like you can't not. But again, like I said, sometimes maybe certain Drake fans just don't watch sports, and that's why that was my first like response to people in the comment section. I'm like, so you don't watch sports at all, or you don't understand how sports work? Like, I don't care about the pedo line. Like, nobody thinks that Drake's a pedo in real life. The song is just fire, and that part, why is he around certified lover boy, certified pedophile? Wow. Like, that shit's just hard, dog. I don't think that Drake is really a pedo, but that little going into that part is hard, dog. You can't deny it. If you deny it, you just a super Drake stan. And that to me is kind of corny. Like I said, again, get off your knees. But this is America. There's no place in no world on God's green earth that people are going to pick. Maybe outside, maybe New York. Like New York people probably would pick Jay-Z over 90% of the athletes that ever came that played for any New York team. But if we sit here saying anywhere else, that's not happening, dog. Like if you sit here and ask somebody from LA, Kobe Bryant or Kendrick Lamar, I'm 100% positive they're gonna go Kobe Bryant. If you ask anybody from Cleveland, Doughboy or LeBron James, I'm 100% positive they're gonna say LeBron James. Like, oh, you gonna see it say MGK or whoever else. You can pick whoever from anywhere. You could pick anybody. You can even go Barry Sanders, Eminem. Maybe it depends on who you ask. If you ask a black person, they might say Barry Sanders. But if you ask a white person, I'm 100%.
I don't even know if they would say because Barry's so out of.
But I'm just saying it depends on who you ask. Like if you ask somebody in your third, they may not say Eminem. I'm just saying it depends. I think that one may get tricky.
I don't think nobody would say Barry Sanders. To be honest with you.
I mean, you might be right. I'm not, like I said, I wouldn't argue, but that's just my point. I'm just sitting here saying there's not.
Like I think like you might maybe Megatron, but I was like Barry Sanders. I feel like you don't even.
Nah, Barry Sanders probably brought more joy than Megatron.
No, but you're saying Barry, but when you say Barry Sanders, that's an older crowd. But if you say Megatron more, now if you say like Megatron and maybe Eminem, like I said, even with Megatron, it's still a kind of like I said, I feel like Eminem.
Maybe. I mean, and why we just having kind of just random banter. I do just real quick. I do want to shout outs to YG Tech. YG Tech is a artist from out of Baltimore. And the reason why I want to shout him out, because I was just Baltimore, the Ravens play at Baltimore. So I'm just in and out and bouncing around through the whole entire Baltimore city, just the whole area. on Saturday, and I was like, damn, this nigga's store is real live in the middle of the hood. So I gotta give somebody just for one, because it's just like the fact that he got a store in the middle of the hood. I was like, oh yeah, whatever he be rapping about, he can't be lying, because you're not going to like, if you were a rapper trying to just like fake betray an image, you wouldn't pick your actual location that you're going to pay taxes on to be in the heart of the hood. Like, his business is real live, really in the middle of the trenches. Like, that ain't even no fabrication. So for you to sit here and say, I'm gonna be a tax-paying citizen on my business and keep my business in the hood, I said, oh yeah, I respect him on a whole different level. Like, I don't even care how you make personally, because he do got one of them voices where it's kind of like it's hit or miss. Like, certain songs, like let's be clear, he be talking that talk, like he be really talking crazy on them songs, but he got one of them voices where it's like, you got to really be into that type of voice, or you kind of really, you're not going to be a fan of it, or you may pick and choose, like the same way with like Shaq Lizzy or Eazy-E or 42 Doug. Like, people, some rappers do have one of those type of voices where it's kind of like, you either gonna be super a fan of it, or you gonna pick and choose what songs you may like from them. But again, like I said, shout out to YG Tech, because I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised to see exactly where that store was at. When I seen where that joint, like I'm talking in the middle of, like literally, I was like, oh yeah, he different though. Like, that took my respect level for him up to a total different level, because like, you got a business in the middle of the hood. Like, you could have easily went inside of a mall. You could have went out to the county. You could have went closer to like, what's the school out there? That's like the John Hopkins joint. Like, he could have took that somewhere way in a better area. He'd have took it anywhere like closer to Towson or anything. Like, he kept it in the trenches. I respect that a whole lot. So again, shout outs to him.